Hey, what up, YouTubers? Don here. Today's topic is about being fatherless. Growing up without a dad, you know, it has a lot of impact on the child. Um, and I'm talking to the deadbeat motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Dudes that wanna motherfucking leave a child when he's young, and when the child grows up, then you motherfuckers want to come back. You know what I'm saying? And when you guys come back, and how the child takes you in a certain way or receives you in a certain way, or how the child doesn't even want to be fucked up with you. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys didn't have no empathy, man. You left a child when he was a child. You know what I'm saying? And and then decide that, damn, you want to come back when the child is grown. Or when a child tells you to your face, I ain't got no motherfucking daddy. You know what I'm saying? And then you like, damn, why my child acting like that? Nigga, you the fucking reason why your child acting like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I respect the man that stays. Can't stand the man that leaves. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all men want to put the shit on the women. Oh, it's the woman, man. That whole corrupting my jit mind, or she telling my jit all these motherfucking lies. No, nigga, your jit see what the fuck you doing. You know what I'm saying? Um, don't get it twisted. Just because that little nigga is a little nigga, but that little nigga gonna grow up to be a man. You know what I'm saying? So don't think he don't see what the fuck you do. You know what that old saying is: what you do in the dark comes out in the light. And again, this goes out to all the deadbeat motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers that didn't give a fuck. Um, my personal story: I grew up fatherless, man. Straight up. My dad was one of them, one of them tours, and a tour in Creole, all that is just a motherfucking player. You know what I'm saying? My mama used to tell me stories about my old boy. And old boy ain't, when I say the word old boy, I'm talking about my dad, my so called father. You know what I'm saying? My mother used to tell me when he was younger, he was a, good looking man. You know what I'm saying? I give him that. You feel me? But my mother used to always say he had a lot of women. And, God bless the dead. The old girl ain't here to, speak about him. But when she spoke about him, she said a lot of pleasant things about my old boy. She was like, there go your daddy right there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, try to have a relationship with your daddy. But in my mind, I'm like, damn, how the fuck am I have a relationship with a nigga that was never there for a nigga? You feel me? The only time I saw my daddy, and he was one of them stop by daddies, you know what I'm saying? So the only time I saw that nigga is when he wanted to get some pussy from the old girl. That's the only time I saw that nigga. That nigga, he didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? That nigga didn't stop by to give me money. That nigga didn't stop by to spend time. He didn't stop by to do shit. But used to always be at my mama like, damn, why my son don't want to spend time? Why my son don't want to come over my house? That shit ain't had nothing to do with my old girl. You know what I'm saying? Because my old girl used to tell me, your daddy want to spend time with you. Your daddy want to spend time with you. And in my mind, like, I'm thinking, like, why? Why now? Shit. Why now? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit, you left. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no words for you. And, my dad used to always say, vagabond, vagabond. You know what I'm saying? And, what a vagabond is a thug, a nigga on the street, from the streets, you feel me? So he used to always say vagabond, vagabond, vagabond. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what that is. So, but in my mind, I was like, nigga, you ain't got shit to tell me, dog. You ain't raised me. You know, the people that I can count on raising me was God, my mother, my brother, and my stepfather. I consider my stepfather more of a dad, more of a father to me than my actual fucking dad. You know what I'm saying? And if it boiled down to it, if anything would have happened, I would have run to my stepfather's defense first because he had an impact in my life. You know what I'm saying? He was there as a male figure, a role model. So dudes that motherfucking leave while their child is young, that little nigga gonna grow up, or that little girl gonna grow up, and that little girl, and how they take you when they are, how they interact with you when they are adults. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't have shit to say about that. You know what I'm saying? Because had you been there, then they would have a lot more respect for you. You know what I'm saying? They would take care of you in your old age. And our culture, believe it or not, as our parents get old, they stay with us. You feel me? Like my mother died in the house with us. You know what I'm saying? I took care of my mother to the very end. You know what I'm saying? When she passed, you know, I stood up in place for my mother. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to my dad, man, not I can't tell you that I don't love the dude. You know what I'm saying? I got love for him. You know what I'm saying? He put me on earth. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that's all it is, man. That's all I can say about that. I don't have no memory that I can tell you about my old boy. But my old girl, I can tell you a lot of shit about that lady. You know what I'm saying? To tell you the truth, I don't even know half of the people on my daddy's side. And for me to know who the fuck they is, I gotta holler at my sister on my daddy's side. You know what I'm saying? And she be like, "Oh, there go your cousin, there go your cousin, there go your cousin." But that's not my sister's job to do. That's my daddy's job to do. To be like, you know what, son? Heck of my family. This is such and such. I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have a relationship with my dad. Period. Nigga, it's been over 10+ years since my mother died. You know what I'm saying? My old girl. You know what I'm saying? And I can remember, on my mother's deathbed, my mother was like, "Man, I'm no longer gonna be here for you, but I'm gonna be praying for you." And but your daddy like the only parent you got now, so you gotta try to have a relationship with him. So I'm like, yo, how am I have a relationship with the dude when, he walked out when I was young, man? You know what I'm saying? And I just I got no memories of the nigga like that. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, it does affect a child when the man is no longer present in the child's life or the household. So men, when you thinking about walking out of this situation, this is the result you get when you do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because a child is gonna grow up to be an adult. And when the child grows up and you come back, expect all that negative shit. Straight up. Expect all that negative shit. So if the child disowns you or don't want nothing to do with you or don't even come around as an adult, don't even acknowledge you, period, your fucking fault. You know what I'm saying? Because if you would have been there, the child would have been there for you. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. One thing I can't say about that nigga, he was a terrible dad to me, but from what I see, he's an excellent, grandfather. So, with that being said, when I have kids, if he's still here, I'm not gonna stop my kids from, being with him, interacting with him. I'm gonna tell my kids, that's your grandfather, but as far as the relationship between me and that nigga, we have none. I got love for him because, like I said, you know, he put me here, but at the same time, that shit probably eating at his soul. Cause I'm like, damn, you got a son, you know what I'm saying? You ain't never do shit for this son, you know what I'm saying? But then again, you started a family, but then created another family with somebody else. And then, like I said, my dad's still a Thor, man, you know what I'm saying? And a Thor is a motherfucking player because I hear from my stepmama. My stepmama tell me all his shit. You feel me? My stepmama be telling me like, damn, that your daddy ain't gonna never change. Your daddy still gonna do him, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit. I mean, that's that nigga. You feel me? I buried the person who I cared about. You know what I'm saying? And I can remember me and him having an argument one day. And we had an argument, and I seriously told him about himself. And he threw something in my face, something that I wouldn't forget to this day. And that's why I really don't fuck with him, man. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't come around like that. You feel me? And I just really don't want to have nothing to do with him. Now, don't get me wrong. My siblings on my daddy's side, I love. I talk to them. I love them, but it ain't the same because I ain't grow up in that household. I grew up with my mama. Every time I used to go see my old boy, I felt like the outsider in that shit. You know, I'm gonna give y'all an incident, man. I remember when I was over my old boy house, and my little brother tried me, man, and I went to go put my hands on my little brother. My daddy flat out came out. What came out of his mouth was, "Don't touch my son." And I'm like, wow, motherfucker, I'm your son too. That at least that's what my mama tell me. You know what I'm saying? So, um, you know, so I just don't get it, man. You know what I'm saying? Dudes, you know what I'm saying? Men, if you don't want your child to end up like this, if you don't want your child to end up, hating everything about you, or not wanting to do with you, period. Let's stop the cycle. You know what I'm saying? Be in your child's life. Because when you in your child's life, then you won't have to deal with all the negativity and the backlash. You know what I'm saying? What comes out of his mouth when he's grown. You know what I'm saying? And don't be blaming the women, because the women ain't got shit to do with this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's your motherfucking fault. Had you been there, had you stayed, you know what I'm saying, you would have got a different reaction from the child. You know what I'm saying? Now, this ain't a bash every father type segment. No. Because I know some fathers that are doing some marvelous shit. You know what I'm saying? That's there in their children's lives, and I respect the motherfucking dude like that. You know what I'm saying? That shit. You know what? Yes, this shit get hard, but I'm not gonna walk out on my family like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stay through the thick and thin. And when you stay, your child ain't got nothing but respect for you, man. Because your child gonna be like, you know what, man? Fuck it. I had a mama and a daddy. I love both of them, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, it is what it is, man. Y'all just gotta be there for y'all kids, man. Y'all gotta, show y'all kids that y'all love y'all kids and stuff like that, man. Because when you there, trust me, you make a big difference. But when you not there, you cause a lot of motherfucking pain. And when you cause that pain, trust me, you're gonna have to deal with the motherfucking consequences. You know what I'm saying? So when your child feels a certain way about you, ain't got nothing to do with the mama. It's all your fault. Because had you stayed, it would have been a different reaction. You know what I'm saying? Had you stayed, Your child would have talked positively about you. So it's on you, gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? You got to stand up and be a man, man. You got to stand up to want to be in your children's lives. You know what I'm saying? You got to stand up to want to show them that, you know, I'm a positive man. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot to teach my son or my daughter. And my son or daughter, you know what I'm saying, will have a better life if I'm, if I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, just be men, man. Just be there for your kids, man. Cause believe it or not, you ain't doing nothing but hurting yourself. And when you get older, you're gonna see exactly what the fuck I mean. Cause believe it or not, the child ain't gonna want to. He ain't gonna want to be around you. She ain't gonna want to be around you. They ain't gonna have nothing positive to say about you. You know. Take it from a fatherless child. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Take it from somebody who's fatherless. And my old boy, like I said, my old boy is here. So, but he hasn't been the father figure in my life. Like I said, the streets raised me. My mother raised me. My brother raised me. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was never taught how to be a man. I became a man with all my good and my bad. So, women, when you dealing with a man like that, it's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? He went out there facing the world. You know what I'm saying? Without a father figure in his life. He went out there facing the world without somebody showing him how to be a man. So he just became a man with all his good and his bad. So, I mean, that's what the young niggas facing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what the young lady's facing too. You know what I'm saying? She was never taught how to be a woman. She just became a woman with her good and her bad. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, men, it's time to step up and be men. You know what I'm saying? Because if you want to call yourself a man laying down with this woman, call yourself a man by, taking care of your responsibility as well. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, I want to tell everybody thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for taking time to listen to a nigga. And let's subscribe. Because I'm trying to get to 1 million motherfucking subscribers. And I can't do this shit without y'all. So, holla at us, though. Alright, y'all. This is Ron Don. I'm out. Peace.